Children only really have one tool for development. In their brain, they have this urge to learn, and it's such a strong urge, and we call that play. It's what we've always done. It predates an education system by 20,000 generations. It is the drive that children have for learning. The great thing about it is that when children are in play, it has all these other great benefits, like greater levels of well-being and resilience and problem solving and innovation and invention and all of these other great skills, which now, only just now, we are really starting to value as skills that are absolutely crucial for children's long-term life success. When you take it to the next level, when you take it to children who've experienced trauma, disaster, and other things which have led them to being in a refugee camp, it becomes infinitely more important. When children are experiencing those kind of disastrous things in their lives, they see their parents in a panic, they see the world in a panic, and as a result, they go deep into this sort of fight or flight thinking. And fight or flight thinking is only focused on the now. What we need to do is get children out of that mode so they can go back into their normal developmental path where they're thinking about the long term, where they're back in that kind of relaxed state where they can start to absorb information, and it's that will give them that normalcy so that they can continue on their developmental path. If we don't tackle this problem at scale, hundreds of millions of children will enter adulthood without the skills to thrive. This will have lifelong consequences for those children and for all of us.
Children really are struggling in refugee camps, not just in Lebanon, but all around the world, because there are a lot of risks that come along with them being in this situation.
Particularly in a situation that's experiencing a lot of disadvantage. Just sometimes even the environment to play in doesn't exist.
Loose parts are not a new idea. They've been around since after the Second World War, when people observed children after the war, particularly in the UK, picking up rubble and broken bits of wood and other things and actually creating their own play spaces. It's a beautiful image, thinking about children from a bombed out building picking up these things and building their own cubby house, this idea of creating a sense of safety and security. And there are a few people who picked up on that, and the idea has grown since then. Children having loose bits and pieces that they can manipulate and turn into anything that they want to play with, whether it's a cubby or a slide or a tray with cupcakes made out of mud. The child is exploring the world through that process, and it's absolutely crucial.
Loose parts are also great because you can use them in all sorts of ways. That engenders incredible imaginative capacity in children.
Everybody benefits from play-based learning. You're helping kids to grow up strong. It creates more opportunities to build a positive relationship between adults and children.
Refugee camps have some really strict rules. You can't just go in and build a solid playground structure in that environment. They just won't let you. There's a lot of refugees camps that won't allow you to put in concrete foundations or even use industrial materials like simple steel tubes or other things. Child-friendly spaces are often in shipping containers which cannot physically enter those spaces because they're only footpaths.
So we used plywood, like waterproof plywood, to construct the boxes, and then we made everything modular, so with one object you can create several play objects, and that is constructed with bolts and nuts, so everything is like modular. So it's like small Lego blocks you can add and you can create something completely different just by your fantasy.
I have been involved more from the manufacturing side, and I am absolutely blown away how they've created this modular system. I can totally see how simple they will be for anyone, anywhere, to put them together.
The joy on children's faces has been phenomenal. So much curiosity, so much activity. There's no doubt that they are completely engaged. When we've arrived every day, the kids are already waiting. They're already kind of beside themselves with anticipation. You know, you can feel their joy and excitement.
If you want a child to be healthy and happy and have high levels of all of the skills that they need to do well in life, they need to play. We want to give them a safe, a secure, and a deep sense that they are welcome in that place, that they can relax there and they can go on with their normal development.
Through the research of looking about what works, we know again that good structured play-based learning and responsive and caring relationships with adults near them can only sort of send outcomes and development in a positive direction.
These kids have been through huge hardships. To offer anything up that brings so much joy and freedom is an incredible thing to be a part of. It's a pleasure to see.
A full 40-foot shipping container we estimate could impact 120,000 kids a week. I don't think there's anything that comes close to that in terms of effectiveness and the ability to reach kids where they're at in terms of the budgets that you have in your pocket. Playground Ideas has been working for 10 years with everything from grassroots organisations to NGOs to major donors. And we've taken all of that experience and brought it to bear on these loose parts play boxes. The idea is to give children the stimulation they need in a form that is a turnkey solution for any organisation.